Gulani, can give me the go ahead when you are ready from that side.
Good morning, colleagues. My name is Valencia Sharela. I'm an intern working under Learning Capability and Development and Corporate Social Investment in the ACD department. So I'll be doing the safety briefing procedure today. So in case of emergency procedure, in an evacuation, we will use the north-facing exit and proceed to the designated assembly point located just after the bridge. And in case of accessibility considerations, the bathrooms are located east of this building as you walk towards the entrance. The first door to the right is the ladies' bathroom, followed by the disabled, then the gents. That's all for me today. Thank you.
Thank you, Valencia, for the safety briefing. I present the colleagues online can be able to hear us. Is anyone has access to your online platform? They can tell us if we're audible enough. I'll be. It's okay. Confirm for audible online. Can you confirm for audible online? Audible, so you can hear us online. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, colleagues. So I'll be program directing the session today. My name is Kulani Chawuke. I'm the media manager here at the CSIR. So yeah, I'll be program directing, and I'll just be welcoming you all to this this media briefing that we're having today. A briefing that is themed around showcasing our young people leading research, technological innovations for South Africa's food security, agriculture, and health challenges. So we'll be having 4 presentations today. One presentation will be focused on human capital development initiatives for young people, and then there will be 3 other presentations which are focused on the research development and innovation, which are led by our young people, which we have here with us in the venue today. So we are hosting this media briefing at an opportune time for us at the CSIR, or should I say an exciting time for us as an organization, in a sense that in October this year, 5 October to be precise, we'll be turning 8 years of touching lives through innovation. And that's 8 decades, colleagues, of doing our research and development for the betterment of the people of South Africa. So some of the things that the colleagues will be sharing with us here today are the projects that contribute to touching lives through innovations in various aspects of work that we do. So once all these 4 presentations are done, we will have a Q&A session where my colleague Petulo will be facilitating the Q&A session. So for those who will have online web questions, you can type your questions on YouTube, or you can type them on Teams, and then after all the presentations, those questions will be answered. And with that said, I'll give an opportunity to Ospin that to start the presentation on human capital initiatives. Thank you. Ospin, over to you. You can project the screen.
Thank you, Chair. I'm going to project just now. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect. Let me know when you can see the screen.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is keeping well and warm, and thank you so much for the opportunity to come and present this morning. So the topic I'm going to cover is initiatives for young people that we have at the CSIR. As the Chair has said, my name is Pinda Sifunda, and I'm the Senior Manager for Learning Capability Development, as well as Corporate Social Investment within the CSIR. Do I need to share my video, Kulani, or just the presentation is fine?
Yeah, if you have a video to show, you can play it, it's fine.
No, I was saying a video of myself. Do I need to switch on my camera, or I can proceed?
You can proceed.
Okay, perfect. So just to provide context into this presentation, just showing an overview of what we look like as the CSIR, because then this will provide a bit of context to why we are running the programs that we are running at the CSIR in terms of building capacity. So I'm sure you have seen similar presentations, but this is just showing how the CSIR is located. So CSIR has just over 2,000 employees, and we are located in 5 different regions. Sorry, Kabeja is hiding there. The main campus is Pretoria, and that's where the majority of our people are, and that's where the majority of operations are happening at the CSIR. So it's just over 2,000, but we always track the number of scientists, engineers, and technologists that we have, because this is the core staff that is involved in the research, development, and innovation work that we're doing, as you will hear from them in the next few topics of today. So we always track this number, and for us to be sustainable as a business or as an organization, we need to make sure that we have a very healthy pipeline of scientists, engineers, and technologists to make sure that we can replenish the staff that may go to retirement or may leave the CSIR. So that's why then we have this huge focus and a very strategic priority as an organization to build capacity in science, engineering, and technology. So about 70% of our staff, our researchers or scientists, and then about 40% of the scientists or the set base is women. So again, a lot of our programs are also targeted at growing the number of females that are coming into the science, engineering, and technology base. And as a research organization, we're always tracking the level of qualifications of our employees, because as a research organization, we need to have a high level of qualifications in science, engineering, and technology. So we track how many of our researchers have master's qualification, and when we also check how many have PhD qualifications. And we're sitting at around 19%. And when we compare with similar organizations, that number is sitting at 20 to 25%, and we have a target then to grow that number in the next couple of years. Now, in terms of our portfolio, the learning and development portfolio, we have a strategy that is looking at 3 pillars. And the one of the main pillar there that I want to zoom in for today's session, because we're talking about opportunities for youth, is the first strategic objective is to build a large pool of scientists, engineers, and technologists. And as I've indicated, this is to ensure the sustainability of the organization, to make sure that the work continues to happen, bring in new young people and new ideas so that we can remain innovative as an organization. But also because we are a state institution, this is also done to support government in terms of building capacity in science, technology, engineering, and maths. So there's a huge focus in terms of providing opportunities for young people in this field. So I will only zoom into that first objective. And then in terms of opportunities that we have for young people, so this all starts with outreach. We have a huge outreach program that we roll out as a CSIR. And the main objective or primary objective for us to get involved in youth outreach is to try and stimulate interest in science, engineering, technology, and maths at a very young age, so that the young learners at high school level can see what opportunities are there in terms of STEM careers. And they can also starting to think about what they would like to be when they complete matric and go to university. So we do a lot of showcasing the different careers we have at the CSIR, especially the research careers that we have. And we always take along our young people who are researchers to talk about their experiences, to talk about what they've studied and what kind of career they are involved with and what they are busy with in terms of the projects that they get exposed to and the number of innovative technologies that they are working on to try and stimulate that interest. So we also engage learners, we engage university students, because we're also trying to get a lot of the young people to join our programs in learning and development and join the organization ultimately. So there's a lot of work that is put into youth outreach to create awareness and also share opportunities that we have at the CSIR for young people. I think everyone will appreciate that we don't have a lot of matriculants coming out with maths and science qualifications that are suitable for them to take them to university and pursue these degrees that we are looking for. And it's not only the CSIR that's looking for these qualifications. There's a lot of us. There's SASOL, there's ESCOM, there's Google, there's the banks that are also looking for the same skills. So that's why then we want to really create awareness about the CSIR as well when we do this work, so that the students and the learners are familiar with the organization and are familiar with what we do. We also partner with a number of high schools. And these are high schools in rural areas because we always track who is coming to the CSIR to join our bursary programs, for instance. And we always find that is mainly learners that are based in urban areas. So we do a lot of work, even through outreach, going to rural communities, talking about what we do, and also talking about the opportunities that we have available for young people. So through this partnership with a number of high schools, we are able to reach that level as well, and also have a more focused interaction at that level to talk about what we do and to also stimulate interest in the areas that we do. And then the next slide is just to share about our bursary programs. So we have a range of bursary programs that we roll out or we implement at the CSIR. And the most prestigious one, of course, is the CSIR bursary program. So this is targeted, or it funds students, university students from first year all the way up to PhD level qualifications. So we're always marketing, especially for grade 10 to 12s, market the bursary program, show them how to apply, and also what are the requirements of the bursary program. So it's a full course bursary program. It covers all their tuition fees, accommodation, and there's a living allowance that comes with it, laptop allowance, and also an allowance for them to buy books or stationery that they need. So they don't need for anything when they have this bursary. All they need to do is to work hard and succeed. And we also provide wraparound support, where we visit the students twice a year just to check up on them, how they are doing, both on the personal space and also academically, so that we can assist where it is possible for us to assist if they are having any challenges. We also have a buddy program or a mentorship program where we pair our new students with students that have already been in the program. So we match them according to the area of study and the universities where they are, so that at least if it's a new student, they have somebody to guide them in their first year at varsity, and somebody to at least be someone that can provide support. But we also provide training to them, what it is to be a buddy, what it is that they need to provide in terms of support. And then we also have a number of other bursary programs that we have partnered with the Department of Science and Innovation and Technology, the National Research Foundation, the Sasol Foundation, and also a number of SETAs, because the work that we do cuts across a large number of the SETAs. So we also roll out different bursary programs that we are supported through by our partners. And every year, I guess we always have about 500 students on our bursary programs. And this is all the programs either funded by the CSIR or funded by our partners. And these are ranging, again, from first year all the way up to PhD level. The second one is graduate development programs. So we also have a range of graduate programs, and these are targeted at graduates in science, engineering, and technology that are coming out of the university system. But then so some of these include the work integrated learning, and this one is students that are not completed yet, but students who need workplace experience for them to meet the requirements for their qualifications. So we partnered a lot again with the SETAs in rolling out the work integrated learning program, as well as the learnerships. And then we have an internship program, and this is a big program within the CSIR, and it cuts across. It's not only for scientists, engineers, and technologists. These are interns across the board, both in our support portfolios or both, and then also in our research portfolios. And then the last one I want to talk about is the graduate in-training program. And this program is targeted at our graduates, especially those who are coming from our bursary programs. And we provide them with a 3-year contract, and we align their training with the requirements of professional registration bodies. So a majority of them are engineers. So we work very closely with the Engineering Council of South Africa in terms of structuring this program to make sure that in the 3 years, that the engineers at least are competent professionally and they can be registered as professional engineers. Sorry, the number is incorrect there. We now sitting at about 180 interns, that are at the CSIR. And then, as I've indicated, we partner with a lot of sitters in our graduate placement program. The other program I'd like to share, and this is the Youth Employment Service Initiative that the CSIR has partnered with the Youth Employment Agency. And this program is looking at attracting unemployed graduates who are young and Black. So there's a cutoff age, and also it needs to be transformed candidates. So these candidates are employed every year. So we have about 62 candidates currently at the CSIR that are employed on this program. And really, the aim is to provide them with work experience and provide them with training and opportunities for them to be able to get absorbed and get permanent employment. So they either get permanent employment within the CSIR or in other organizations. We also collaborate with our partners as the CSIR or industry partners, and especially SMMEs who have raised their hand that they need additional capacity. And then we place some of these young people in those organizations or companies or industry partners. So this has been a very successful program that we've been running for about 5 years now. And it's really making an impact when we track where these young people end up after they've been at the CSIR. And a lot of them do stay and continue working at the CSIR. The last program I want to talk about is our entrepreneurship development program. So this is a program that we implemented through our corporate social investment program. Sorry, Kulani, I'm getting feedback noise. I'm not sure if it's from the venue. So the last program is the entrepreneurship development program. So this program is targeted at young entrepreneurs, and the cutoff age is 35. So these are young entrepreneurs who are either starting up or have businesses that are looking at technology. So these are all technologies that are related to the work that we do so that we can provide the support. So it's an annual program. We send out a call every year and we get on board about 20 interns and we support them. So the program is more geared towards providing them with entrepreneurial skills and assisting them with their venture creation. And we do a lot of other support programs with this group, teaching them how to manage their IP if they've got IP, but also how to get assistance in terms of the technology development if they still need to do some technology development. So we currently only support youth that are coming from Gauteng, KZN, and the Western Cape because that's where our laboratories or that's where our regional offices are, and it's easier then to manage and assist where we can. And we've also partnered in this initiative with the IDC. And at the end of the 12 months that the colleagues are in this program or the entrepreneurs are in this program, they are prepared. They receive mentorship throughout the program as well, guiding them in terms of writing business proposals. So at the end, they have to submit a business proposal and they present this to venture capitalists and also the ITC, who is our partner. And any of the business proposals that successful from that round, then they get funded to grow their business at the end of the annual program. So this is what we do for young people at the CSIR. I think this is just provides more detailed information about the entrepreneurship development program. And this is where I will end the chair. I don't know if you are still there.
Yeah, no, thank you, Asmunda. Thank you. So if there are questions, they will come later and during the program.
Okay.
Well, thank you. So next up, we're going to have presentations from Lebogang, followed by Sihle, and then Hendrik. And then I'll come back to the podium once all these three presentations are done. Lebogang, over to you.
So, you share the whole screen for the team splitting.
Don't see. Good morning, everyone. My name is Lebaham Malata. I am thrilled to be here for Youth Month to share an exciting project from CSIR's bioprocessing team in the chemicals cluster. Today, I'll take you through our innovative work on producing Voluntary, a probiotic for pediatric gummy supplements designed to tackle South Africa's health and economic challenges. So as a young up-and-coming researcher, I am quite passionate about using biotech to create solutions that make a difference in our communities. So let's dive into my journey and this project. So this is where my story begins. I hold a BSc in Biological Sciences and a BSc Honours in Microbiology and Biotech from the University of the Witwatersrand. Currently, I am pursuing my Master's in Biotech from the University of Pretoria, supervised by Professor Yolandi Lema and Dr. Gineshri Munsami, who are also part of the bioprocessing team at CSIR. So I work as a research intern where I contribute to the cutting edge research in biomanufacturing. My academic and professional journey reflects my drive to address real world challenges through science. Growing up in SA, I saw how access to affordable healthcare can transform lives, especially for children. This then inspired me to focus on biotech, where I could develop solutions like probiotics to improve health and create economic opportunities. So working at CSIR has given me that platform to turn this passion into impact, and I'm quite excited to share one such project with you today. So let's talk about why this project matters. Pediatric gut is a priority because a healthy gut in children supports the immune system, digestion, overall development, and unfortunately in SA, South Africa relies heavily on imported probiotics, which are often less expensive, which are often very expensive, and less accessible to ordinary families due to currency fluctuations and import costs. This then creates a gap in affordable healthcare solution. So our project addresses this by developing a local alternative, which is the Voluntary, which is a safe and effective probiotic strain. This bacterium is known for reducing issues like colic and diarrhea in children, and we are producing it right here in SA to make it affordable and trustworthy. So by localizing production, we are not just improving the health, but we also creating jobs and supporting our economy. So let me walk you through on how exactly we are doing this. So our technology produces Voluntary at 200-liter scale for use in child-friendly gummy supplements. These gummies deliver these live probiotics that survive digestion, supporting gut health. And then this process involves growing, harvesting, and formulating these probiotics
reducing import reliance and building a local buy economy. It's actually a step towards affordable healthcare for all South Africans. Let's dive into the project aims and objectives. So our project has clear aims to address South Africa's challenges. First, we developed a cost-effective, scalable biomanufacturing process to develop these L-return strains. This means lower costs for consumers. Secondly, we are replacing imported probiotics with high-quality local alternatives, thus ensuring accessibility. Thirdly, we are supporting job creation by building a local industry around these probiotic production, from its manufacturing to packaging. Then finally, we have successfully prototyped these pediatric gummy supplements with clinically relevant probiotic doses, making it easy for children to benefit directly from these products. And then these objectives align with CSIR's mission to drive innovation for a healthier and more prosperous South Africa. Then where are we now with this technology? So our technology is at technology readiness level 7, meaning we have successfully demonstrated a prototype at 200-liter bioreactor scale. This is a major milestone, showing that our process works in real-time operational environment. And then the next step is testing the shelf life of our gummy products in its final packaging to ensure it stays viable and effective over time. And then this is then being handled by a partner, and we expect completion within a few months, potentially leading to a market launch by later 2026, depending on the client, obviously. And then let's dive into the science of it. Our upstream processing grows these L-return strains efficiently. We use a two-stage system for high-quality starter cultures, scaling to bioreactors with optimized conditions such as low pH, low oxygen, precise pH, and nutrient-rich media. This then achieves high yields, ensuring enough probiotics for effective gummies. And then downstream, we harvest these probiotics using centrifugation for high yield and high purity. And then we also freeze dry them with lactose to create a stable powder in a process of lyophilization. And then these methods preserve probiotics viability, ensuring our gummies deliver health benefits effectively. And then finally, our product formulation is where science meets consumer needs. We've then developed these child-friendly gummies that are tasty and deliver probiotics efficiently. These then gummies achieve a 90% survivability rate in simulated gut conditions, far outperforming important brands that often show low viable probiotics or contain contaminants. And then we've also explored freeze-dried powders as an alternative format, offering flexibility for capsules or powders. This versatility ensures we meet diverse consumer needs, making gut health accessible to more South Africans. Safety is our top priority. We have verified that our retail strains meet generally recognized as safe criteria through full genome sequencing. This then ensures it's safe for kids' consumption. And then our probiotics are traceable and effective, with rigorous pathogen testing showing growth on McConkey agar, meaning they're free from harmful bacteria. And then unlike some imported products, our gummies are transparent in quality, giving our parents peace of mind in consuming these products. And then what is next for this technology? We are finalizing packaging and validating shelf life to ensure product quality. And then we're also supporting our client with a market launch strategy to maximize visibility. And then looking ahead, we'll plan to explore formulation expansion like adult gummies, capsules, or sachets to reach more consumers. And then we're even advancing next generation probiotics using synthetic biology to enhance health benefits. And then finally, in conclusion, this project delivers real benefits for South Africans. It offers affordable health products, making probiotics accessible to families. It improves the health outcomes by supporting digestion, immunity, relieving chronic in children. And then on the economic side, it creates jobs in manufacturing, packaging, supporting local industry and the local buy movement. By reducing then the import costs, we are building a stronger, healthier South Africa driven by innovation. Thank you so much for joining me today. This project shows how young South Africans are using science to solve our challenges, and then from improving children's health to creating jobs. I'm proud to be part of the CSIR team, and we're ready to collaborate with the industry to bring these probiotics to life. So here with me, I have prototyped pediatric gummies. We have the plain ones, and then we have wax-coated ones and starch-coated ones. So these coated probiotics help with packaging in the long term and preserving them over time. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
Just share your screen.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sihle Matinise. I am a researcher from the Sustainability Economics and Waste Group. I hold an MSc in Geography and Environment. And as part of my professional responsibilities, I do research that informs decision-making and policy development around waste management. This is an outline of my presentation, but I'm not going to go through it. The purpose of this presentation is to share some insights on the food waste issue, its impact, and how the CSIR has tried to tackle the issue. I'll start off by defining what food waste is. Food waste is defined as any food and inedible parts of the food that has been removed from the food supply chain or recovered or disposed, whether through landfilling or anaerobic digestion or bioenergy production. So how much waste do we lose in South Africa? About 10.3 tons of food is lost every year, and this equates to 45% of the total food supply. The wastage occurs throughout the food supply chain, from the So how much food do we lose in South Africa? About 10.3 tons of food is lost every year, and this equates to 45% of the total food supply. This wastage occurs throughout the food supply chain, and the processors and manufacturers being the main contributors, with a contribution of 49%, followed by post-harvest handling and storage at 19%, while retailers and wholesale contribute about 6%. So while all these volumes of food waste is being generated in the country is also struggling with high levels of food insecurity. A recent report by Stats SA revealed that a quarter of all the households in South Africa experienced hunger in 2024. And this does not mean that the country is not producing enough food. It is producing enough food, but the food does not trickle down to all the household because of various factors, and food waste being one of those factors. So why is it important for us to address food waste? Food waste contributes to food insecurity by increasing food prices. The cost of food waste, as well as the cost of managing food waste, is factored in the food prices. So reducing food waste will reduce the food prices, and that will help us address the issue of food insecurity. Because if the food is cheap, people will have more access to it. Food loss is also a financial loss resulting from processing, or purchasing food that goes to waste and does not get consumed. Environmentally, food waste contributes to climate change. When food waste is disposed at the landfills, it decomposes and releases methane, a greenhouse gas. Food waste also means that food resources that went into producing or processing the food that does not end up eating, those resources are also lost. And also improper disposal of packaging, food packaging contributes to litter. So the focus of the sustainability and economics and waste group in terms of trying to tackle the food waste issue has been around understanding the magnitude of food waste in South Africa, to firstly highlight the issue so that all the affected stakeholders can start taking actions on the issue. We wanted to understand the magnitude of food waste to be able to better manage the food waste, because you cannot manage what you do not know. We also focused on establishing a baseline to track progress against the SDG target 12.3. So South Africa has signed up to Sustainable Development Goals, and Sustainable Development Goal 12.3 calls for reduction of food waste by 50% by 2030. So establishing the baseline is very important for us to track if we are reducing the food waste or we are not reducing the food waste. We also focused on understanding the reasons and the factors influencing food waste generation so that we could be able to help the different actors in the food supply chain to reduce their food wastage. And through this, we have developed a food waste prevention and management guideline together with the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment. We are also always trying to seek for opportunities to strengthen the baseline by assisting with data analysis relating to food waste. For example, now we're currently working on a Food Loss and Waste Initiative on South Africa's Voluntary Agreement on Reducing Food Waste and Loss. So the Food Loss and Waste Initiative is hosted by the Consumer Goods Council. It commits different players of the food supply chain to collectively reduce food waste by measuring and monitoring their food waste, identifying hotspots, and implementing food reduction actions in order for us to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. So as part of this project, signatories, including primary producers, retailers, wholesalers, and food service sector, submit their data on food wastage through an online portal. So the data is anonymized, then shared with the CSIR for analysis, interpretation, and year-on-year comparisons. Measuring food waste is important as it allows us to identify the scale of the problem, the hotspots that need to be addressed, as well as tracking progress over time. So our approach is in line with the overall holistic approach of the CSIR, which ensures that which focuses on achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, as well as transitioning towards the circular economy. In conclusion, food waste is a pressing issue and the wastage occurs throughout the food supply chain. So it is important for all the actors of the food supply chain to start reducing their waste. And the starting point could be measuring and reporting on their food waste, as it helps us identify the scale of the problem as well as the hotspots that need to be addressed. Thank you.
So you can minimize it.
I share the screen with them. Yes, please do.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Heinrich Kaiser. I will be talking to you about Elima, which is a farm-to-fork platform for small-scale farmers in South Africa. This is a bit of my background. I studied computer engineering at the University of Pretoria, focusing on conventional embedded programming and digital signal processing. I'm currently a computer engineering master's candidate, also at the University of Pretoria, focusing on music and artificial intelligence. And I'm a candidate researcher at the CSIR in the Smart Logistics Management Group, which falls under the Smart Mobility Cluster, where I'm focusing on web development, mobile application development, simulation modeling, data analysis and visualization tools. I'm also registered as a candidate engineer with EXA. So Elima, like I said, is a farm-to-fork platform for small-scale farmers, and it aims to radically improve farmers' access to local and international markets. It's also blockchain-enabled. I'll get into that a little bit later. But features of the application include stock management, inventory management, and task management. So this is for the app that the farmers will be using. And in terms of the blockchain, this is used to securely record the transactions on the application. So blockchain technology is a decentralized digital ledger that enables you to securely record the transactions across multiple computers, but just make sure that all of the links in this chain of records is secure and correct. So Elima aims to address one of the biggest problems in the agriculture industry, which first of all is that the number of farms that are either super micro, or small, even medium, far outweighs the number of large farms. But the income generated by the large farms are much greater, as well as the employment is about half of the people are employed, but it's disproportionate to the number of farms and the income generated. Also, in terms of productivity, the yields for the small-scale farms are much lower than the large-scale farms. Same with the take-off rate, land percentage, and also a longer growth cycle. So for the smaller farms, the farming practices tend to be less efficient and cost more to produce the same amount of products compared to large-scale farming. So the opportunity provided by Elima is, or the problem it addresses, is that small-scale farmers' produce often don't reach the markets as they encounter multiple issues across the supply chain. This ranges from lack of access to inputs, not having effective production or post-harvest processing or storage, and also distribution to the markets, and also access to the markets, as I said before. So there's about 2.3 million subsistence farmers in South Africa, and by addressing these problems, it will aim to reduce poverty levels, unemployment, also support skill development, improve food security, and enable GDP growth of South Africa and export promotion. So the benefits of this farm-to-fork approach would be to enable full traceability for the consumers as well as the producers and the retailers. So it opens up opportunities in domestic retail and export markets for these small-scale farmers. And also it enables sector-wide supply chain visibility. So anyone is able to monitor the movement of goods to improve planning, forecasting, and result in reduced cost and improved environmental impacts. So this is a software as a service product, and it goes beyond just normal supply chain logging and details by embedding knowledge of other farmers into the system as well, so that it can be mutually beneficial for all of the farmers using the platform. And by using blockchain as the trust foundation, multiple layers of data is generated, and this data can then be contextualized to the needs of the user by analyzing their own data as well as similar farmers in related industries to see trends and to see what works. For instance, if someone has a much better yield than someone else in a similar area, that their practices can be analyzed and the other farmers can be assisted to maybe adopt some of these practices. So this is the ILIMA platforms. So there's the supply chain app. So this would be used by producers of good, processors, packers, transporters. And then there's the, they can also be retailers themselves, of course. And then there's the consumer app, which is for the end user to be able to see exactly where this product comes from for the entire supply chain to, that's where the farm to fork comes in. So from inception to final product, they can see the entire journey it took. This is also a desktop app that is also usable by the producers. So this is just a quick overview of what the app looks like. So you can see in this case, it's for poultry production. You can see your order fulfillment rate, mortality, feed conversion, different tasks that were assigned, and if they were complete, how many were overdue. So these tasks include stuff like temperature readings or counting the chickens or cleaning the pens and so forth. And then there's stock management, where you're able to add, remove stock or adjust stock in case that some of the animals might have died or gone missing. You can also add employees to your business. So you can assign tasks to them. This might be cleaning or transporting the goods. And then as you can see on the right there, this is an example of the task screen where tasks are assigned to certain people. And you can also give them a date where this needs to be completed, a date and a time, and it will remind them if that task is overdue, and also remind them when the task needs to be completed. So the value proposition of ILIMA, importantly, is for the small-scale farmers to include their production and reduce poverty and increase their access to local and international markets. But there's also other value proposition to other players in the supply chain, where the data that is collected from these farmers can be used for a variety of reasons, for a variety of purposes, including planning of infrastructure, also assisting other farmers, like I said before, with different techniques for increasing the yield or reducing the mortality rate. And also it provides information to the export markets and retailers as to what they can expect and who they can expect it from. And then also on the consumer side, it's free to check where this product comes from. So if you scan the product, you can see, okay, this is the farm where it comes from, and then from inception to finally through packaging, through everything, this is where it ended up. So it might be that a chicken laid eggs. Those eggs were then transferred, or the eggs hatched. Those chicks were then transferred to another farm. There they were raised, fed, vaccinated, all those things. Then they might be transferred to an abattoir when they're ready. After that, they would be packaged and transported to the retailer, where the consumer can then scan the item to see that entire process of where it came from and how it ended up at the retailer. So ILIMA's plan for the 5-year vision. So we completed the proof of concept, and we've also completed a pilot with a chicken farmer, where we went to the farm to see, how can this help them? What can we add? Is there value added for them, and expand to fit their needs? And we're currently looking for other partners to help expand the app further. And then finally, we want to commercialize the product and implement it into the market. So this is just a brief overview of the case study that we did. So it was a chicken farm in Naboomspruit in Limpopo, and it's a small-scale chicken farm. And Molgadi has 2 full-time employees. As you can see, there's a poultry house, an abattoir, or a large poultry house, and then a small poultry house. So the small one is for laying hens, and the large one is for broiler chickens. Usually tasks include vaccination, feeding, temperature monitoring, inspection, and so forth for the broiler chickens. And then once they're fully grown, they will go to the abattoir where they end up in different types of products and packaged and then finally sold to a retailer or someone else, or hopefully the export market. For the laying hens, it's similar, where they're monitored with temperature and coops are inspected, but also the eggs need to be counted and so forth. And then finally, when those eggs are counted, they're also packaged into different sizes and sold. So this is just going through what it would look like to register. So you register and then you indicate what types of products or animals or whatever you are supplying. And you add them as producers or processors. In the case of an abattoir, you complete information of your business, the location, your certification, and so forth. And then you define your stocks and your batches, where you say for every type of stock that you have, how much you have, and you can group those into batches if you so wish. And then this is what a dashboard would look like, showing you the different batches you have. And if you select that, you can see what stock is included in those batches, and then just an overview of stuff like mortality rate or feed conversion. This type of thing would be customized to the type of production you do. So for something like poultry production, mortality rate makes sense, but for something else like any sort of crop, then mortality rate wouldn't make sense. So there would be something else. So you can see, you can view your stock here and see stock that came in, stock that came out. You can also add people, producers on or off platform to send you stock, or who you can send stock to. So if they don't have the app, you say they're off platform. But if they do have the app, then you connect with them and it's sent from their profile to yours. Again, this is just showing the batches where you tie tasks to the different batches. And this is showing some of the different things you can do. So you can convert the stock. So this would be if, for instance, you have chickens that are then sent to the abattoir and then it's converted to a different type of stock, which is then sold. Or you can also adjust the stock if there are deaths or whatever, and then create shipments to finally send that stock to the retailer, whoever uses it. Yeah, this is just showing that you have a lot of detail for the different batches to show you exactly what happened on your side. Just example of how the stock can be adjusted, and given a reason like mortality or so forth, you can log the weights or feeding and so forth. Just showing temperature tasks. So taking the temperature is important for chicken farming. So you have the outside and the inside temperature with image of proof. So you can see how the temperatures were monitored over time. And this is just a brief overview of some of the other functionalities, showing your company information, defining some of the stock categories, defining business partners, as well as creating locations to ship to or ship from. So yeah, that's it. So thank you very much. For a demonstration or more information, please contact myself or Dr. Isabel Meyer. Yeah, and look forward to you reaching out. Thanks.
Yeah, no, thank you for your presentations, colleagues. Very insightful. Thank you for this. Just to check online, there are no questions online on YouTube. Colleagues, online, are there no questions?
Apologies, no, there are no questions online.
Can you repeat that again?
I said apologies, there are no questions online.
All right, no, thank you. So I presume that there are no questions for this session. However, so if there are people in the media, if the media on YouTube who are interested in speaking to our colleagues after the session, they are available for the media engagements, and any interview request can be shared with Petula and should facilitate that. Considering that there are no questions, I will close the session here. Thank you.